Hello, everyone. Happy Sunday. Welcome to my channel, Sage House Apothecary. Sage House Apothecary, I believe in wellness with intention, and I infuse every product, every service with positive energy to support your journey toward a balanced and healthy lifestyle. So welcome to my channel. I am actually working on a cream for a customer. So I thought that this would be a really great opportunity for me to just record. Number one, it's quiet, no one's here. And number two, I have a small time frame in which I need to make this for a customer. So I figured that I would just kind of record, give you all an update on what's been happening, and then, chat and create products. So here I am. Hope you all are well. I see that my numbers are kind of stagnant, which is fine. I know I have to be more consistent with recording, but sometimes with my schedule, it gets a little challenging to do that. So I will record as soon as I can. It's kind of hard for me to have a schedule right now, but I'm hoping to get that rectified sooner than later. So what I'm making now is a cream. I don't think I've shared this in other videos, but so cream has a water base in it. Salves have an oil base in it. Lotions and creams have a water base. Salves, oil base, oil and beeswax. So depending on what it is that you're wanting to make, there are different things that you can create that either have a water base or have an oil base. Again, depending on your needs. So this particular customer ordered one of my creams, and I'm kind of just going to share with you a very generic recipe of what I'm creating. But this particular cream has infused oats into the water, which is very therapeutic and soothing for the skin. So I already have and this is distilled water. You don't want to use tap water because it can eventually get your product to go bad and mold. So distilled water is actually the type of water that you want to use when you are creating your products with water. And now, I don't know why, but now this is when my dog wants to play. So I have my water that I created yesterday. I was actually I was trying to make this yesterday, but I ran out of time. So I'm picking up from yesterday, and this is my distilled water. I actually need to heat this up. So I'm going to grab a pot. This is actually the pot that I use for my herbal products when I'm making stuff. I figure so I can stay in the camera, shift things around. But yeah, depending on the type of product you want to create, it's just important to know, like, what is the purpose? Are you looking for hydration? Are you wanting to moisturize? That is a good start. But creams tend to be very fluffy, very creamy, of course, cream base or cream tend to be very soft, fluffy. I actually really, really like this cream. I also have some infused oil here that I made a couple weeks ago. So yeah, I'm going to use this infused oil because there is a water phase and then there's an oil phase, and then we combine them together. And you want to make sure that you have, this is a broad spectrum preservative for shampoos, conditioners, creams, any of that stuff. So this is a really good item to have on hand. This is Germabin 2. I got this from Amazon. And then also I will use emulsifying wax, which is nice to have or important to have for these type of recipes. It's very similar to beeswax. Like how I pour my beeswax into my salves. I don't know if I created a salve. I can't remember if I created a salve on here, but you have your oil and then you add the beeswax, mix it up, melt the beeswax, and that's pretty much your salve. You pour it in, let it cool, solidifies, there's your salve. This, you pour it in the oil, melts it, but then we are adding our water phase to our oil phase, combining those two. It's like really cool how the whole like chemistry of it takes place. Because you can tell when you combine the two, it becomes like this really, it's like these two clear products, but when you combine them, they become cloudy. Although this is not clear, but you'll see what I'm talking about. But it's kind of cool. So I'm going to just share with you a little bit. So today is the Super Bowl and we are having a Super Bowl party. So I have people texting me, asking me questions. What should they wear? And yeah, I'm just going to respond real quick. But yeah, hopefully you all are doing something fun for your Super Bowl. My partner decided that he wants to throw a Super Bowl party. So we are getting our place ready. I've been cleaning this morning. We have a chef coming in, making the food, and we have our 41st floor reserved for our guests. So it is a big to-do. So I like to, so this is the jar that I'm putting everything in. I like to use two different jars, okay? And I can combine one into the other. Remember, we're combining the oil phase with the water phase. Also, you want to make sure that you have, and I should probably get a, maybe not so of a tall one, but this is a thermometer. With this particular recipe, you have to be exact with the temperature. And so you want to heat up both the water and the oil phase to about 100 and I believe it's 115 degrees for both, or 110. So I'm putting this is my oat infused water. I'm putting this in the pot and I'm going to keep it covered just because I'm just going to do that. And then for the oil phase, I want to look at my sheet again and make sure, because the measurements, everything has to be exact. So depending on whatever you want to make, this is something that you can just do at home. So you're going to get 70 grams of distilled water. For those of you who need scales or who are looking for scales, I have this precise measurement scale. It's a digital one. I believe I got this from Amazon, but I really, really like this. I do have another scale that's more like for kitchen stuff, which is just as well. I mean, I use it, I've been using it for all these years, but I also have this one, which is more exact. So you want to make sure that you have a scale. You want to make sure that you have a thermometer. You also want to make sure that you have your Germabin too. You also want to make sure that you have emulsifying wax. You also want to make sure that you have a container to put the final product in, and then your oil. So it can be infused with peppermint. It can be infused with rosemary, it can be infused with chamomile, it can be infused with rose, whatever you want to infuse the oil with, that is what you're going to use. So first we're going to start off with the 70 grams of distilled water that's currently in the pot, heating up. So for the oil phase, I am going to measure out, and I think I want to put this on. I'm going to measure out, you also want to get spoons, measuring spoons, because I completely forgot about that. So you also, you are going to measure out 10 grams of the emulsifying wax. 10 grams. I'm going to move this down so that you all can see that. 10 grams of emulsifying wax. And this is a tablespoon right here. So 1 tablespoon is like close to 9.5. Okay, so I'm at 10 now. So now I'm just going to scoop a little bit. I'm going to use this. I'm going to scoop a little bit back into the spoon because I want it to be 10 grams exactly. Okay, we're at 9.6, 10.2, 9.9. 10. All right, we're at 10. So I'm gonna put this to the side. We'll put that to the side. Thank you, cameraman. All right, so 10 grams. And then 20 grams of whatever oil you want to use. So make sure that your container is clean. I am a paper towel user. It's bad. I got it from my father. I don't even want to know how many paper towels I use, but I'm very wasteful. But I don't like rags. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm going back tangent a little bit. I do not like rags because I feel like they've been sitting and then they collect bacteria and then you're just wiping it down again and spreading the bacteria. I'm slightly hypochondriac, but I don't like rags. So with paper towels, I feel like just a one use and then I can just toss it. But I'm also working on not wasting it all because if I'm washing my hands and I'm drying them off with a paper towel, then I'll try to put that to the side and remember to reuse it and not toss it. But so yeah, I use lots of paper towels. So I put the emulsifying wax off to the side. That's 10 grams. 10 grams of the emulsifying wax. Now we're going to measure out 20 grams of oil. So, and I'm going to try to arrange this so that you all can see my scale. All right, look at that. Okay. So for those of you who have a scale, and I'm sure you all can figure this out. So say this is the jar or the container that you're going to use for your oil. And we are measuring out 20 grams, right? So you put this on there, most people put that on there and then want to put the oil. Well, we're already at 184 grams with this jar by itself. So what you want to do is put the item that you're planning on putting your oil, your liquid in, and then hit the button to restart it. So this is balancing out as 0. So now the only thing that it's going to measure is either the water or the oil. So that is something that took me a minute to figure out and probably already knew that. I'm just going to pour this into a smaller measuring cup so that I can be mindful. So again, we're looking at 20 grams. 13. Okay, so 25, that's 25 grams. So I'm gonna pour some back. Again, it needs to be exact, 23. 22, really? All right, 17. Slowly. 18, 19, 19.4, 19.5, 20. Look at that on the dot. Love it. So we're gonna put this to the side, okay? So our distilled water that's infused with oats is heating up. I'm gonna take the temperature. So again, I probably need a temperature needle that's not as long because when I'm working with short jars like this, it's not the best. Let's see what the temperature is on right now. Put that in there. Then with the oil, you're going to take your 20 grams of oil and then you're going to melt the emulsifying wax in it. And it also needs to be the same temperature. So I'm going to put this on inside the pot first. And I did not get excuse me, I'm going to get my stir. Okay. I'm back. So I got a stir. These are so great to have on hand. I ordered these from Amazon, and whenever I'm mixing things or stirring, I also have like one of my magical spoons, which I don't know what happened to it. I think when I moved, it got taken or lost. But I like having these. You can stir it, and then once you're done making your products, you can just toss it. But like I mentioned, I also do have a magic spoon. But I think I lost it, so I'm gonna have to make another magic spoon. Okay, so we have our emulsifying wax, temperature. Let's see. And we don't want it super hot. So right now it's at 166. And if I'm not mistaken, I think I need to double check. If I'm not mistaken, we want to get both of the temperatures as close as possible to each other so that they're both like 114, 115 degrees. But I'm confirming. I want to check to make sure because it has to be exact. I think I want to also do like create a rose water because I need some for my hair and yeah, I think it would be kind of cool. Okay, hold on. Mm, okay, so it needs to cool down to 110. Mm, okay, so yeah, I think I'm looking at my notes. I had both at like 100 and like 15, both of them. And then I combine them. Like I feel like you don't want to go any higher than that. So make sure this is actually at 154. So I'm going to let that sit for a little bit. I'm going to take my emulsifying wax and I'm going to pour it into the jar of the oil. All right, so that is in there and I have my stick to stir. Another thing that I think might be helpful for this, did I do that the last time? I have a frother. Sometimes those are good to use too. Um, but for once you take the water phase, no, once you do the oil phase and you combine them, and then it moves into the cooling stage, which is about 110 degrees. You let it sit. I mean, of course, you're gonna have to like blend it once you combine them. You have to blend it, I think, for like a good 5 minutes or so. I think that's what I did. I used the frother to blend it for like a good maybe 2 minutes. And then you have to let it sit for maybe 20, 30 minutes and it gets solidified and it becomes this really creamy cream. But I forgot what I was going with that because yeah, I forgot. I'm starting the party a little bit earlier, just letting you all know, starting the Super Bowl party a little early. All right, so it's at 146. The infused oats is at 146. So I want it to come down. I want it to come down more. at least 30 degrees, or at least, um, I guess I don't know what that is. Yeah, 30 degrees. Okay, let's check on this. We have one big piece that needs to melt into the oil. While that's going, what is going on? I think I shared with you all my March Reiki registration is open. So if you all are interested in getting certified in Reiki, you can travel to Chicago and we can hang out for the weekend. It's actually a really good class, if I can say so. I really put a lot of work into it. And again, this the way that I teach the class or lead the certification is the way that I would have liked. But so yeah, that's I had to move the date down because of work. So March 21st through the 23rd is the weekend. It's Friday 3 to 6, Saturday and Sunday 10 to 6. Sunday is the certificate day. But it's a really good time. And you leave, it feels like a retreat. Like you leave feeling completely different. And it's a really great way to connect with yourself. And also, if you're interested in learning how to become a Reiki practitioner, this is level 1 and 2, so it's perfect for you. So that's happening in March. Um, I recently, the news reached out to me to record a live sound bath. So I think that's going to happen. I think that's going to be this week sometime, which I'm excited about. Was not expecting that, but I'm excited. My father, my father, who is a professional photographer, he had his second exhibit yesterday and it went so well. And I'm so proud of him. Our family is really, really excited. And my father, he's up there in age. And I feel like it's just really nice for him to have his accomplishments recognized or like his work recognized, even though he is 81. But that's been kind of cool. And what else has been happening? Yeah, that's pretty much it. Just all of that stuff. If you all are watching, please like, subscribe, follow. Yeah, y'all gonna have to bear with me until I can get a team. Once I get a team, I'm gonna put it out there. I'm gonna manifest it with my mouth. I need a team to help me with this stuff. I actually enjoy doing it, but man, I have so many things pulling me, but such is life. So I do what I can do. I'm checking the temperature. We are at, yeah, so we have a little ways to go. I need to get another one because I could be reporting the temperature now. So we have that. For the Germabin, usually what I do is I just measure a capful, like barely a capful, maybe a third, 3/4 of a capful, and pour it in there, and that is it. Because I could not find anywhere where there was an actual measurement for it. But yeah. Also, I think I'm gonna use the frother. Yeah, if I remember where I put it. I think it's over here. Yeah, so I got this from a company. I want to make sure I don't make sure the company doesn't see their name. I don't want to get in trouble. All right. We're at 127 now, 127 degrees. I need to test the oil. It works. So, but yeah, if you're watching the video, please like and subscribe and give a sister some grace because I am learning this new platform, and eventually I will have to make more time to edit, but like I just have so many things pulling at me. And yes, I do realize that I have to make the choice to take things off my plate. So that's the thing. But my biggest priority right now is working on my book, finishing my book. It has been a long time. I think I've been writing the book 5 years now. I've had to, I'm gonna try this. I've had to put it down and then pick it up, put it down, pick it up. Because it's very emotional. Because I am sharing. Okay, it's at 123. I'm gonna take this out and then measure the oil because the water is gonna continue to decrease, and we'll see if we can meet somewhere in the middle. But yeah, the book is very emotional. I'm sharing everything that I went through as a child, um, as a young mother. I mean, not, I mean, I was married, not young, but I was 25 when I had my son. But I went through some things with my children's father. So I talk about that. Um, I briefly talk about my second marriage. He divorced me, which is that's fine. But I briefly touched on it. But it was those two relationships that got me to where I am now because there was a lot of self-reflection and healing that I had to do. And that's what got me doing all of this work now. So I'm grateful. I really am. I'm grateful for those experiences. I'm grateful for those relationships because they also showed me me, like the real me. Because I realized for years I was living a version of me that I thought other people wanted instead of me really living out who I know myself to be, if that makes sense. So yeah, but I think it's a good story, but I need to finish it, and I need some editors, I need some people to help. So if you all know of a publishing company, that would be great. I also go into my work with plant medicine, um, and how that has been helpful on my journey. I go through me going through my eating disorder when I was dancing professionally. Um, Actually when I was training too. But yeah, I talk about that, and all of those things have led me here. So I'm so grateful for the experiences, and I'm really grateful that I'm on the other side. And I fought a lot. And most people look at me now and they're just like, what do you mean you had to fight? You haven't gone through anything. I've gone through some things. I like to say I have grown through some things. So, yeah. All right. So by now, you all should have your infused oat water, and you all should have your oil. Okay, it's still coming down. It's 140. So I think what I may do is I may let this still go down a little bit more. Yeah, the oil, I think I want it to go down a little bit more. I was starting to chuckle a little bit because I was like, what if I mess this up while recording? What will I do? Probably still share because that's what I do. All right, so this is where we are right now. All right, and I think I'm gonna add an essential oil to this for this customer. Oops, for this customer. So yeah. Um, so what else is going on? Okay, the oil's starting to come down, so I think I'm going to combine them. I just want to check something real quick. All of my recipes, I have notes on my recipes because I, of course, want to make sure that everything is consistent. Okay. So what I'm going to do is, yeah, this is coming down. I'm going to combine the phases. I'm going to combine the water phase into the oil phase. And it's going to get cloudy. You see that? Oh, I love it. And then I'm going to add, I think I mentioned like a 3/4 cup. This is almost, I'm sorry. This is almost the whole cup. I'm pouring that in there. And then I'm going to pull out the frother. And you have to say it like that too, the frother. Right. And then I'm going to mix this for a little bit. And again, make sure that you have a jar or a container that is big enough so that the product will not spill out of the container. So I'm going to keep this stirring. Whoops. Or, oops. I think battery's dying. Wow. I think it has stirred enough then. And so now we're going to let this sit for maybe like 30 minutes or so. And then it should be, well, let me make sure if you are adding essential oils, now is when you add it. You might need to blend it up a little bit again. And if you don't have a blender, that's perfectly fine because I've done this working with my trusty stick. And you just want to make sure that everything is thoroughly incorporated. So again, we're mixing that oat infused distilled water with the herb infused oil with the emulsifying wax. And you'll start to feel it. If you're stirring it yourself, you'll start to feel it thickening up just a little bit. But once you feel like everything is fully incorporated, you can set it to the side and let it sit for like 30 minutes. It will be solid when we get back. I mean, not like solid, but it will be more creamy when we get back or when I come back. Actually, I think I'm going to put a little cover on there too. I'm gonna cover. But yeah, I'll be back and we'll take a look in 20 minutes, 30 minutes. Okay, I'm back. So now it's solid. And I'm gonna transfer this in. And there still may be some liquid and that's okay. It will settle. Yeah, so you see it's still liquidy. But this will settle and it will become thick and creamy. It'll thicken up. You'll have to let me know whether or not you all made this. I would love to hear. And like, what did you think about the process? See that? Very light. Feels good, actually. That feels good. Okay. All right. Look at that. We made our own cream. This feels really good. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed that. I hope this is something that you'll do again. But again, if you are watching this and you are not subscribed, please be sure to subscribe to this channel. And feel free to give this video a thumbs up, please. Give me grace, y'all. But yeah, thank you so much for joining me today, and I will see what I'll do for the next video. But I do want to do a sound bath. I definitely want to do a sound bath, so maybe that'll be the next one. But yes, thank you, everyone. Thank you again for stopping by Sage House Apothecary. Be well.